And last, but certainly not least, a very intriguing company with what I guess will be a very interesting demo. CreditXpert's enterprise platform is the company's next generation credit score insight and predictive analytics engine for mortgage lenders. Immediately identify an applicant's credit potential, generate precise improvement plans with just a few clicks, and track applicant progress all through a single dashboard. All right, Matt and Christopher, do we have you on the call today?
I am here. You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you just fine. Looks like you're ready to rock. I'll let you take it away.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate the time today, and really excited to introduce the new CreditXpert platform to you all. And so what I always like to start off with, and we do it both internally and externally, is that our mission at CreditXpert is making home ownership accessible and affordable for all. That is our mission. And this mission fits so well with the environment that we're currently in. Go to the next slide. So really what we do is deliver insights to help lenders lower the cost of home ownership for consumers. And we do this by being very thoughtful and analytical around credit. So you could trust our deliverable, our software. We've been analyzing over 1 billion credit records over nearly 20 years to get to where we are today. We have a cult following of What If Simulator and Wayfinder. You may have heard those names in the marketplace, used by nearly 60,000 mortgage professionals. And we have integrations and relationships with every leading credit provider. So wherever you're buying credit reports from, you're going to be able to have access to CreditXpert. All right, go to the next slide. So how we want to help you in 2023, right? It's a challenging marketplace. So CreditXpert, by you and your organization being thoughtful about credit, you are going to attract more referrals, wealth managers, real estate agents, brokers. The community that you serve will know that you are being thoughtful around credit and you care. Today, we have access to credit scorers more than ever. Your banking app, other applications out there in the marketplace. The reality is that's not necessarily the score we use in the mortgage space. And borrowers want to know what type of loan they're getting and how they're getting it and how credit impacts. Bringing transparency earns trust. Qualify more people. So what about the marketplace? What if you could present a better offer? What if you could qualify someone that maybe wasn't qualifiable before? We got the loan level pricing adjustments that just came out, right? Credit impacts that. I don't really care if you're a 740 credit score, it's still not as good as a 780 to get that most competitive deal. As an originator, if you're out there looking for your consumer's best interest, you're going to win. We're going to show you how to do that in just a second. Go to the next slide. Just some quick about data. Go to creditexpert.com and download our Mortgage Credit Potential Index. This is taking a snapshot of some of the most recent credit inquiries in our market. And over 53% that didn't qualify could have qualified for an FHA government-backed loan. Of those, 36% could have gotten to a conventional, maybe better terms, maybe better down payment assistance, maybe a bond program at their state level, increase their purchasing power, and then decrease the loan level pricing adjustments or lower their interest rate. So go to creditexpert.com, download the Mortgage Credit Potential Index. So what you're going to see today is quickly how to identify an area of credit improvement. When you click a button to order credit, CreditXpert consumes that credit data, is going to identify opportunity for improvement. With another click of a button, we're going to generate an improvement plan, and then you're going to be able to track your results. How many plans have gone out? How many people have qualified for better mortgages? How many people achieved a better credit score? So that was my quick intro. I'm going to pass it over to Christopher, and he's going to introduce you now the new CreditXpert platform.
All right, we are going to start off first. Our starting point is on the credit pulls screen within our system. Credit pulls is an integration into your CRA provider. So all credit reports that are pulled by a lender will be visible here in our credit pull screen. And you can search in your credit pulls by the borrower name, the credit reference number, or the name of the person who pulled credit. I'm just going to find my deal, and we're looking for Ivy. So we're going to create a plan. What's nice here is that with one click, you're creating a plan. our algorithm is running and it's validating probably about 1,600 or so different scenarios to come up with this default plan. Now, if these plan steps are something that a user feels comfortable with, you can click Use this plan. You've created a plan in less than 30 seconds for your borrower to achieve a score. But to be able to show you the functionality of the system, we're not going to do that, and I'm going to show you some of the bells and whistles that we have here. Along the left, you'll see the borrower name, the bureaus that were run, and we can support a single buy or tri-merged credit report, both hard and soft pull. It'll show you the mid score and the date that the credit was pulled. Then the center pane here is showing you the details of the plan. Here is our default plan. Now, the system is always going to default to the highest likelihood to achieve a score with the least amount of cash that's needed to achieve the score. So again, the least amount of cash with the highest percentage of likelihood is the credit bucket that the system is going to default you to. Across the top here are some of the controls that will drive the details of the plan. So the term, and as you make these changes, the system is going to rerun. And it's always going to default to, again, the highest likelihood with the least amount of cash, but it's going to let you know that there are other plans available, as you can see here. I have a 50% likelihood of achieving a 680 or more, and the cash is going to be $3,800. There's a plan there. This one is more likely. That's why it's defaulting. Additionally, you can change cash. So if you know how much the borrower has to play with, you can adjust those here. Also, if there are any other details like collection accounts or disputes that need to be removed from the credit report, by you adding those details, you'll be able to automatically adjust the likelihood of that credit bucket being achieved. Now, as you can see, more plans have opened. I have another higher bucket that's available to me because of this collection account that I paid off. So as you're adding things, the algorithm is running in real time. Now I'm going to put this back to an immediate plan. So an immediate plan means that you are going to repo credit or rescore, actually. So it's immediate. We're going to make these actions available to the borrower immediately, and you're going to work with your CRA to collect that documentation. But what's nice is that we know that there could be additional cost that's associated with running a rescore. So before you commit to utilizing this plan, our system will let you know which bureaus those trade lines are reporting to, so you can get an idea of level of effort and cost associated with this plan, because it may not make sense, right? Given that these trade lines are reporting to both bureaus, the cost here may not outweigh the benefits, so you may want to choose a 1-month plan. But say you are happy with this plan, and this is what you wanted to move forward with. You'll be able to click Use this plan, and then you'll start in the invitation process, and you'll be able to invite the borrower 2 ways into their plan. You can either invite them into the electronic borrower portal, which I'll show you when I've already invited a borrower, or you can create and download a PDF of the plan. So the PDF of the plan is something that can be customized with disclosure language or any type of language you'd like to have, disclaimer language, on your plans. So that can be printed here and customized for each one of our lenders, as well as marketing, branding for the organization, and contact information appropriate for the borrower. And then the plan details are listed out in easy to read info. But I did invite the borrower, so we are going to jump over to look at Dan Lowe. As you can see, Dan, I sent his plan to him electronically. I invited Dan, and he's created a password. We use a dual authentication for Dan when he's creating his credentials for him to be able to access the site. Here you'll see the date that the plan is due and any pitfalls to avoid. All this information was also on that paper, on the PDF of the plan. And then as Dan is interacting with these steps, now this is a checklist, right? To let Dan know these are the things that you need to do to achieve the plan. So as you're supporting this borrower, contacting them weekly, finding out what actions they've taken, you can follow along and see that Dan has done this himself, because as soon as the borrower interacts with their portal, status is going to update. Now we can see it's in progress. Now say you sent the PDF and utilizing the borrower portal. A user of the platform can follow along the same way that Dan was doing that through this checklist. And as steps are cleared, status changes. So we're going to go through and complete these steps. We're going to rescore. Now, credit is run where credit is run today, in your point of sale or in your loan origination system. And through our integrations with your CRA, this repull of credit is going to come into the system. And you're going to be able to see the statistics and the analytics around how often plans scores were achieved, and the details around that plan. So this is what it looks like when the score was achieved. Now, let's take a look to see what it looks like when a score isn't achieved. We have what we call our change report. So again, the borrower went through their plan actions, cleared their steps. The lender worked with the CRA to either repull or rescore, provided the documentation. Again, just like all the steps that you do today. Credit was rerun and the score was not achieved. Today, we have our change report that's embedded into the system that's going to give a lender the ability to see what changed on this credit profile that could have negatively affected the score. So you'll see the plan actions and then all of those things that have impacted. So on this example, there's a lot. Could you imagine having to manually go through each one of these bureaus and determine what changed, what reported, what wasn't there before that is there now? It's like finding a needle in the haystack. So with our change report, it really is helpful to get to the bottom of what is going on with this credit file. Additionally, we have dashboards to help folks understand real time what's going on with their plans, with their borrowers, and the action that's been going on. So real time embedded within the platform. And then the various cues are letting you know, this is what I need to work on today. These are my priority deals that I need to pay attention to. Your plan due date is always visible here. And at the highest level, this is the CreditXpert tool. What questions do we have?
Right, Matt, Christopher, thank you for taking us through CreditXpert. Now, my first question for y'all is, how is the new CreditXpert enterprise platform different than prior CreditXpert products?
Yeah, I like to think of it as that over the years, CreditXpert has delivered the marketplace really good products that help along the way. What If Simulator, Wayfinder, Credit Assure, Credit Radar, Credit Essentials. All of these products, we basically have combined them all into a singular platform. And so it evolved a lot of that functionality. But also, probably one of the two really important things is currently our users have to select bureau by bureau. This now consolidates all bureaus into a single view. So whether it'll be a tri-merge credit report, soon to be a bi-merge credit report, we're looking at whatever needed bureaus in one single view. And then the integration of being able to engage a consumer and talk their plan with them digitally and then complete it digitally is also a new benefit. So one final thing would be the new dashboards. So the ability to track and report and understand, what your average credit score was for last month. How many plans have you completed? How many of those plans were completed that generated into a closed loan? All those types of things. We're all doing this to produce more loans, but it's using credit as a thoughtful strategic tool.
So you mentioned using this to produce more loans. So how are high-performing lenders using CreditXpert?
Couple of ways. I think it's being really analytical at inquiries or leads that come in, and a lot of times they're not maybe achieving the right deal, or they don't achieve the high enough credit scores to get that deal. So just really analyzing credit at that initial prior to app stage to really qualify more borrowers and be more competitive right now when we're in a tough market with raising cost, raising home costs, raising interest rates, and low inventory. So you could really use this strategically to do more deals. I think also some of the more high performing lenders delegate the use of CreditXpert. So they'll have a team of loan officers that work with someone who's dedicated to working a pipeline of credit files like Christopher just displayed. So think of a loan officer more referring to a credit specialist. Some of our highest performing lenders are working in that way.
You know, you just opened the door a little bit there with increased cost to originate, lower inventory, a higher cost. What kind of return on investment might a lender see using CreditXpert?
I think it's higher conversion, higher lead conversion, reducing fallout. So how many loans are falling out due to credit? How many times are you losing a deal to another lender because maybe you weren't able to present the best terms and conditions where credit could have had an impact? I would also say that this is a delightful experience for consumers. I know for me, and we've talked to many borrowers where they've worked with lenders that use CreditXpert, and they go, I trust them. They're looking out for my best interest. They're not just, yes, could they have got me in a loan at 720? They really could have, but they took the time and effort to help me get a better interest rate and get my credit score to 750. That means a lot to me. Now I'm going to tell my friends and family. We have so many stories like that, so it's accretive from an ROI standpoint, doing more deals, but you're also doing the right thing and helping people.
Delivering a type of consumer experience that makes them want to tell their friends and other people that they know. What more could you ask for from a piece of your tech stack, right?
That's right. And to think of credit a little bit more differently. It's kind of been thought of, I think, in our marketplace over the years as just a commodity that you need to do a loan. How about using it in a way more thoughtfully to help more people and do more deals?
Love that. And I'm going to end things there. What a great note to end things on. Thank you so much, Matt. Thank you, Christopher, for taking us through CreditXpert Enterprise's platform. And to our audience, thank you for joining us for Demo Day. I'm going to hand things back to Diego.